With stealth and careful steps, Jin walked into his room as he saw Namju sleeping on the bed with a book in his hands. Ah, this guy. He shook his head and scoffed on him as he probably slept while reading the book. He carefully took the book from his hands and tucked him up in the sheets after laying him down and turned the lights off. Good night, Leader Nim, he whispered and chuckled as he sighed and walked towards the balcony to get some fresh air of night. No, there was a grasshopper today. He freaked out and stepped back as he was about to open the door to the balcony. I wanted to inhale some fresh air. He let out a heavy sigh in defeat and walked to his bed to make himself comfortable on it. It's nice that the weather is so pleasing tonight. You spoke and closed your eyes as you just came on the terrace, being sleepless. I don't even know why I couldn't sleep tonight. You sighed and dropped your head down as it was heavy due to your sleeplessness. But suddenly, you yelled as something stung your foot. Ah, what was that? You uttered and bent down just to see a kind of beetle there. Oh, from where these many insects have come? You uttered and sat down to check the planters and pots kept there. There was a grasshopper today in the balcony. Like, no one takes care of these plants in this house. You exclaimed and sighed as you started to clean the soil in the planters while kneeling down. I guess I wouldn't be able to sleep until I breathed some fresh air in. I went and got up as I couldn't drift off to sleep even after several efforts. I sighed and looked at Namjoon, who was sleeping beside me peacefully. And to be honest, at that very moment, I got envious of him due to his visible sound sleep. I slowly got myself out from the upper sheet and kept my feet on the ground carefully. I again looked at Namjoon to check if he was still sleeping and walked towards the door once I was satisfied. Oh, you are still awake? I got startled a bit when I suddenly heard a voice. I looked at my back and found a guy standing there. Yeah, it was Sushant, her younger brother. Do you need something? He again asked as he walked towards me. No, I just wanted to have some fresh air. I replied to him, making him nod. Oh, is it? Then I guess you should go to the terrace. It really feels fresh there at this hour. He spoke and looked up at me with glistening eyes. Oh, really? Then I guess I should take a look. I spoke as I chuckled, making him nod. Yeah, sure, let me lead you. He spoke up and turned around, making me follow him. You are Sushant, right? I asked him as we were heading towards the staircase. Yeah, well, you know my name. I didn't expect that. He replied as he smiled a bit, making me smile back. Wait. I called him as we soon ended up in front of a stairway. This leads to the terrace? I asked him, making him nod in response. Well then, you don't need to come with me. I can go on my own. You may continue with what you were doing earlier. I spoke up and looked at him. Are you sure? He asked me with raised brows, making me nod. Well, good night, sir. He wished me smilingly as I did the same and watched him leaving. I looked up at the stairs and sighed before stepping up on it. That was exhausting, Jin exclaimed and sighed as he just get on the terrace. It really feels fresh here. He closed his eyes and inhaled as deep as he could. He opened his eyes and walked towards the palisade with firm steps and kept his hand on the palisade once he reached there. While there on the other hand, you were on the ground to clean the planters, being completely ignorant about his presence. You couldn't see him, nor could he, as the bushy plants hid your figure prudently. What on earth Sushant does in this house, except sleeping and studying? Can't he even look at these pitiful plants once? Such a reckless guy. You murmured annoyingly, making Jin frown as he heard it faintly. What was that? Is someone here? He furrowed his brows and uttered while squinting his eyes. Oh, why God, why? I'm already a scaredy cat. He mumbled as he took few hesitant steps toward the planters as the voice seemed to come from there. And as he reached there, being completely ignorant about your surroundings, you got up, making your faces at just inches away, making both of you scream your lungs out. You didn't accept someone that near to you, and so didn't he. And as a result, you lost your balance and stumbled back, making him grab your arms. Who are you? He asked while widening his eyes, making you look at him in disbelief. What? You shouted, being flustered, as he wasn't supposed to ask such a question. Sir, it's me, Vayan. You replied to him as he was still looking at you with furrowed brows. Oh, Vayanshi. He sighed in relief and dropped his shoulders down. But to your surprise, he lapped your arms, making you widen your eyes as your weight was completely supported by him. Ah! You groaned in pain as you landed on the ground, making him look at you. I'm really sorry. He apologized and quickly knelt down to your level. It's okay, sir. You spoke as you dusted your clothes and looked at your elbow as you fell over it. Oh no, it's bleeding, he exclaimed as he followed your gaze and looked at your elbow. You sighed and just nodded in response. I'm really sorry, Vayanshi. I shouldn't have left you. I didn't realize that you were supported by my hold. He again apologized, making you look at him. It's okay, sir. I'm fine. You spoke in an assuring tone and got up, making him do the same. By the way, what were you doing here at such an odd hour? You asked him as you both walked towards the palisade. I just couldn't sleep, so I thought to get some fresh air and cool air. He replied, making you nod. And what about you? Why are you here? He asked as he looked at you while leaning his back on the palisade. Actually, the very same goes to me too. I too couldn't sleep. You replied and smiled a bit. Actually, I have an issue. You further spoke as you two leaned on the palisade. He looked at you and raised his brows. I usually can't sleep whenever I get tired. I got this from my mom actually. You, being a talkative girl, told him about a random thing. Oh, is it? Then it means you are tired today? He asked, making you drop your head down. Yeah, a lot. You sighed as you nodded your head weakly. I see. He responded while giving a slight nod. And you know what, sir? I'm not going to get some rest any soon. You continued while sighing, making him frown. Why? Because of us? He asked while raising his brows. Huh? No, not because of you, sir. It's because of Deepavali. You replied as you let out a heavy breath. What? He frowned as he for sure didn't understand you. Yeah, Deepavali. Actually, sir, it's one of the biggest festivals we celebrate in the whole year. We do a lot of things on this occasion, like we burn crackers, light up diya, and many more. You spoke excitedly and looked at him, making him chuckle. Oh, then these lightings are part of a celebration? he asked as he shifted his gaze from you to a particular area where the fairy lights were hanging. It is. You nodded your head as you agreed. It's really an eye-catcher. He praised while smiling and looking at the lights only. You followed his gaze and looked at the lights which were making your and his eyes glisten brightly. You both kept on standing there and talking. And being accurate, you were the one who was talking while he was just listening to you. And it was so until you heard him yawning. Oh, are you sleepy? You asked as you looked at him and found his mouth wide open. Yeah, I guess so. He spoke as he nodded his head. It must be too late now. I actually don't realize about time whenever I get someone to talk. You squealed and looked at him. It's really late. I usually don't sleep this late, he exclaimed, making you suddenly feel guilty. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I kept you awake. I'm sorry for talking that much. You apologized as soon as you realized that you just gave him a glimpse of how talkative you were. Oh, no, it's okay. I really liked your way of talking and representing things. He appreciated you and smiled warmly at you, making you less embarrassed. Oh, thank you so much, sir. You thanked him and smiled a bit. Well, should we go? He asked you, making you nod. Yeah, sure, sir. You agreed and started walking as he started to walk. As you were following him, you looked at his wide and tall figure and smiled unknowingly as his mere presence was enough to make your heart flutter. While on the other hand, Jin chuckled under breath and shook his head as he thought, oh, she really talks a lot. Oh, why I have to do all this? I mumbled in annoyance as I fluttered the carpet a few more times to get rid of the dust over it. Sushant, hey wait, where are you going this early? I asked him as I saw him leaving the house stealthily. He hummed and looked at me with raised brows as if he didn't hear me, but I knew well that he did. Don't act. I know that you're going out only to get away from all this work. Just come here and help me clean the living room. I kind of scolded him while raging out in frustration. Didi, what are you saying? You know I have classes every morning. How could you forget? He exclaimed while getting on his shoes, making me squeeze my eyes as I remembered about his class. Oh yeah, but can't you just stay? I asked him in a pleading tone, but he just waved his hand with a kind of mischievous smile on his face and left, making me sigh. Ah! I suddenly yelped as someone spanked my shoulder from behind. Mom, why? I whined as I grabbed my shoulder. Move your hands faster. Remember, Vayan, we have to clean this mess before 10 am. We would go to Mandir after that. She spoke and entered the kitchen, making me frown. Mandir? But why, Mom? I asked while shouting and looking towards the kitchen. You silly girl, it's Dhanteras today. She replied from the kitchen, making me nod in response. But suddenly, I frowned as I remembered something. What? Today is Dhanteras? It means it's a holiday. But Sushant? Oh no, Mom, he fooled me. I whined loudly as I realized that he tricked me very prudently about his class. I won't leave him. I whined and shook my head aggressively. Vayan, move your hands faster. Mom shouted from the kitchen, making me sigh in despair. Yeah, I too replied to her in a raised voice. Why this is so heavy? I exclaimed as I lifted up a wooden bureau to dust it. But suddenly, I raised my brows as I didn't feel much of its weight, as if someone lifted it from the other side. I frowned and tilted my head to the side to see who was there, and I almost choked when I saw Jin there. He was holding the bureau with both of his hands and looking at me only while tilting his head to the side, just like I was looking at him. Why are you holding it all alone? He asked as soon as our eyes met. Actually, I was cleaning the area, so that's why. I replied to him with a bit of embarrassment. Even so, you shouldn't do it alone. He spoke while shaking his head and he literally sounded serious and worried, which made me smile a bit. Now tell me, where should I place it? He asked as he took the bureau from me and looked at me. Here, keep it here. I rushed towards the corner and literally threw the stuff around the room that was lying there. Well, thank you so much, sir. I thanked him as I bowed down slightly. It's okay, Vayanshi, and don't hesitate to ask for help if you need. Okay? He asked as he smacked both of his hands together to blow away the dust, but kept his gaze on me. Thanks once again, sir. I smiled warmly, making him smile back. I guess I should clean it from inside too. I frowned as I looked at the bureau with squinted eyes. You need any help? He asked me from behind, making me look at him. Huh? No, sir, it's okay. I can do it. I smiled a bit while shaking my hands. It's okay, Vayanshi. Let me help you. And after all, I have nothing to do today. It would be better to have your company. He insisted on me in a firm and gentle tone, making me nod smilingly in response. What's wrong, Vayanshi? Jin asked you as he was struggling with the bureau while kneeling down for almost 5 minutes. Nothing, sir. I guess its lock isn't working properly. It's stuck. You spoke as you tried harder to lock the bureau after cleaning it. Should I try? He asked as he bent down a little over you. Let me try a bit more, you replied to him without looking back at him. Oh, it's done. You squealed in delight as soon as you locked the bureau and turned your head around in a swift manner to look at him. But little did you know that his face was just above your head, and so you, though unknowingly, hit him hard in his nose by your head. He suddenly got restless and groaned in pain as he covered his nose with both of his hands. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Are you okay? You too got worried as you got up and tried to look at his face. He didn't respond to you. Rather, he just shook his head as if he was telling you that he isn't okay. Sir, please, let me have a look. You asked him as he wasn't allowing you to see his face. He finally removed his hands from his face to let you have a look. You, with your eyes wide open, looked deeply at his nose to see if it was bleeding or not, and fortunately it was not. I'm so sorry, sir. You again apologized to him and looked at him with apologetic eyes. He squeezed his eyes and sighed before nodding his head. You silly girl, just why you asked him to help you? Your mom shouted at you, making you squeeze your eyes as you and Jin were sitting across the dining table. You were looking down and so was he. He didn't understand even a thing from whatever your mother said, but he still could tell that your mother wasn't having a sweet talk with you at all. He could definitely sense the heat of the room, and so he decided to keep mum. He's our guest, and should we ask our guest to do all these things? She further scolded you, making you look at her with pleading eyes. You requested her with your eyes and facial expressions to not scold you in front of him, but she turned your request down mercilessly. And on top of that, she spanked your head, making you look at her in surprise. And you even hurt him. She raged out at you and left for the kitchen, leaving you and Jin all alone. You sighed and looked up at him, only to find him looking at you with soft and gentle eyes. He mouthed sorry as he thought that your mother scolded you because of him. You flashed an assuring smile at him, making him smile back. You sighed and got up from the chair as soon as he left for his room. Mom! I shouted as I entered the kitchen. What is it, Vayan? she asked, but didn't look at me as she was busy with something. Mom, how could you scold me in front of him so badly? I whined as I wiggled my body to show her my frustration. Why? Why can't I? She frowned as she turned around and looked at me. Because they are my clients. I too have some pride before them. I exclaimed as I straightened up my shoulders as a gesture to show some pride. Oh, is it? My YN has a pride before her clients? She asked with an unusual smile on her face, making me frown. But soon her smile turned into an irritated expression as she raised her hand up, probably to hit me again. Sorry mom, not again. I screamed as I covered my head with both of my hands, and soon I sighed in relief as she didn't hit me. Rather, when I looked up at her, she was already engaged again. Ryan, wait, I have something to tell you. She called me as soon as I turned around to leave. I looked at her and raised my brows. You know what? I just called you dad. And you know what did he tell me? She asked with a smile that was getting wider with each passing moment. What, Mom? I asked as curiosity took over me. His application for holidays got approved. He's coming tomorrow. She spoke in a cheerful tone, making me shriek in surprise. And to be honest, being surprised when your father's comeback was somewhat normal to a daughter of an army man like me. What? He's coming? It means he's going to celebrate Diwali with us? I further squealed and grabbed Mom's hand, making a nod. Too well. We'd meet him after so long. I uttered as I twirled few times in delight and finally headed towards the exit of the kitchen. But right then, all of a sudden, I widened my eyes as something struck me really hard. I turned around to look at Mom with mouth and eyes wide open in shock. Mom, Dad's coming. I uttered in a lower voice, making her frown. Yeah, he is. And I just told you that. She raised her brows and asked. Mom, Jin and Namjoon? I further spoke with wide open eyes. What about them? She asked as she looked at me with raised brows. Mom, Dad won't like it if he would know that they're here. I showed her my concern as my father, being a person of values, hated the involvement of personal and professional lives. Don't worry, Vayan, I talked to him. He would surely understand it. And after all, Jin and Namjoon are your clients. They are responsibility, Vayan. She spoke in a firm tone and patted my shoulder. Okay, Mom. I sighed and dropped my shoulders down feebly. Well, go and get ready for Mandir. We are getting late. She spoke up and pushed me slightly, making me nod weakly. What? You both are planning to celebrate Diwali at my place? You shouted as you were in a conference call with your two besties, Pratiksha and Amrita. Yeah, but why are you sounding so surprised? We always meet each other on Diwali. Amrita spoke up, making you sigh. It's not like always, Amrita. I'm sorry, but we can't meet at my place. Let's meet somewhere else. You replied to her, making both of them whine. Vayan, we want to meet Auntie and Sushant too. Pratiksha spoke up, making her let out a heavy breath. You couldn't let them come to your place as Jin and Namjoon were there. And you were strictly instructed by a company to keep their presence at your home a secret. You sighed and stepped on the stairs heading towards the terrace, as it was your favorite spot during the times of Diwali. Guys, wait. Well, let me tell you one thing. You know who's here at my place? You asked them as you were about to tell them about Jin and Namjoon. But wait, you'll have to keep it a secret. You further spoke up sternly, making them agree as curiosity dominated them. Vayan, come on, just tell us. They whined, making you chuckle a bit. Okay. So we have here Kim Sok Jin. You spoke up in a raised voice as you stepped ahead and got on the terrace. but you widened your eyes as you saw someone unexpected there, looking at you with raised brows. And why wouldn't he look at you like that? You just shouted out his name, and that too with a certain kind of tone. You looked at him and smiled nervously, making him smile back. Guys, I'll talk to you later. I have something to do. You excused from them and hung the call up once they agreed. Sir, it's really a surprise to see you here. You spoke nervously as you walked towards him. Yeah, actually, I like the atmosphere here, so I thought about coming here. These lights and all, it really seems enchanting. He replied to you as his lips formed into a slight yet breathtaking curve. By the way, didn't you just mention me on the phone call? He asked while looking at you with raised brows, making you perplexed. Hmm? Oh, yeah, actually, I was just talking with my friends. You replied to him and looked down nervously. Oh, I see. He uttered with slight nod. Oh, yeah, sir, how's your nose? You asked as you suddenly remembered about the unfortunate incident of morning. Hmm? Yeah, it's better now. He replied to you as he caressed his nose. Well, why is she? If we look back at our encounters, I guess we never had a normal one. He spoke and chuckled a bit as he looked at you with a smile. And you nodded your head as you found a point in his statement. You really hadn't confronted him normally even once. And it started from the very beginning, when you fell on the floor at the airport, and then it continued to be extraordinary till your recent one. You chuckled as all your confrontations flashed in front of your eyes sequentially. I guess you were right, sir, but I'll try to keep it normal from next time. You spoke playfully, making him chuckle. But in my opinion, I guess it's undoable. We are destined to confront each other unexpectedly. And to be honest, I literally like these unexpected meetings. He chuckled and looked at you, making you chuckle as well. And as you were talking, his phone suddenly rang up, making you both look at each other. Excuse me, he uttered and walked slightly away from you. It was Namjoon. He's calling us for dinner. Let's go. He spoke as soon as he was done with the phone call. Yeah, sure, sir. You replied to him, making a nod before walking towards the stairway. You started following him, but soon both of you stopped as your phone rang up. And it was again a conference call from besties. You looked at him nervously as he turned back to face you. Through his eyes, he assured you to have your time in privacy and walked downstairs after earning a nod from you. What is it? You asked bluntly as soon as you picked up the call. Listen, Vayan, if it was a joke, then it really was no fun. And if it was true, then tell us when you're going to let us meet him. She asked in a breath, making you widen your eyes. And to be honest, you knew somewhere that they are going to ask something like that, because you knew how greatly they were involved in BTS. What? Let him meet you? Have you guys lost your mind? He didn't come here for fan meeting or something. And if you want to meet him, then buy your own tickets for the concert and then go there. You blurted out on them, literally in a breath. Vayan, we are your friends. You forgot us this early? Oh God, what would we do now? Oh, I'm so sick of... You stopped her midway as you knew what she was going to utter next. An almost cliché line of armies for blackmailing someone emotionally. Well, I talked to him. Don't overreact. And I'm hanging the call up, okay? You asked as you walked towards the stairway and hung the call up, but not before listening to unexpected sweet words from them. Oh, these girls. You sighed and chuckled while stepping down the stairs, with a smile on your face and a very new mission to accomplish for your friends in your mind.